Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunyama Devaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushkuvagum Sastanubhihi व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We were looking at the Kaivalyopanishad mantras, and we were in the second chapter of the Kaivalyopanishad, where the Atma Swarupa was shown, you can say, by negating all the gunas or all the wrong notions we may have about the Atma. The Upanishad went on negating all that. So it's more of an apavada here. And also to show that the Atma itself it transcends any kind of concept you may have about it. So one of the basic misconception is that I am an entity in space-time. This itself is the first problem. Such notions are actually taken for granted. Nobody even analyzes that. They take it as a truth that I am an entity in space-time means I am subjected to the limitations of space-time. Now this is something the Upanishad always wants to remove this notion, this wrong notion. So we saw that it started with Anoraniyan, but again says Mahanaham. Aham Anoraniyan, but I am also Mahan. Means I am smaller than the smallest, but I am the greatest, biggest, or bigger than the biggest and all that. Mahato Mahiyan also in another Upanishad it says. What does it try to convey? Is it not contradictory? Means there is no contradiction here. What the Upanishad is trying to convey is that you are not subjected to any measurements. You are beyond any measurement. In fact, you are not subjected to the limitations of space itself. Spatially, you are not limited. You transcend the very space. In fact, space is in you. Space is born out of you. That is the vision. So the Upanishad is trying to show you this particular vision that you are free from spatial limitations. Similarly, another misconception is what? I am trapped in one body. I occupy this body mind sense complex. I am a limited individual occupying only this body. No, Upanishad is trying to give you a sarvatma bhava. Whatever you say as I, that I is not there only in this body. Whoever says I, they refer to the same Atma alone. There is only one conscious being, that Atma is myself. And in fact, the I in every body is myself alone. It is me. So Vishwamaham Vichitram, it says. Okay, so I am not just confined to one body, a conscious being confined to a particular body alone. The consciousness which is I am is actually the self of all the beings. In fact, it gives existence to everything, whether it is sentient or insentient, everything is existing only because I give the existence to it. I am the independently existing, self-revealing entity. All other names and forms exist only because of my existence. They all have borrowed existence from me. They are not independently existent. So, Vishwamaham Vichitram. And also, Puratanaha means what? I am very old. Means I have a misconception that I was born in 1971 or something like that. No, there is no birth for you. The body was born. Like even in the Dakshinamurti Stotram, Chitram Vatataror Mule, Vriddha Shishya, he said. Why the Shishyaha or Vriddhaha, old people, means Jiva is very old. Jiva is going through samsara forever. It is beginningless samsara. Guru is always young because Guru is Atma Swarupa, for which there is no time or age or anything. Ever young. So here also Puratanaha again points out that you are never born, means you will never die also, but you are not even subjected to time. So again, space-wise also, the misconception which I have with myself, that has to go away. So Upanishad is pointing that. Similarly, I think that I am a wanting being. Whichever way I look at myself, I want this, I want that. Whole life is about fulfilling wants. But nobody even questions whether I am really a wanting being or not. So you are all only interested in fulfilling the wants. But it's a never-ending thing. Nobody can fulfill all their wants. If you think that you are successful only if you fulfill all your wants, nobody is a success. Everybody is a failure. Correct? You are setting yourself up for failure. And this is one of the problems. In fact, even if I go to school, I try to teach children this point, that if you think that by only fulfilling all your desires you are successful, then everybody is a failure. You are setting yourself up for failure. That's going to be a problem. That's how our tradition defines success. For us, success is not fulfilling all your desires, but success is to successfully manage your likes and dislikes. In spite of your likes and dislikes, if you are able to do the right thing, you are successful. In fact, even freedom also. Many young children, in fact, young people understand this very well. If we explain it properly, I have seen that. So freedom also is not that whatever I like, I will do. That is freedom. No. If you are like that, in fact, you will end up in bondage or you will be in jail most probably. If you do whatever you like, you cannot go and step on somebody else's toes, correct? They will also react. Or if you do whatever you like, most probably you will do something illegal, something wrong. Again, you are going to end up in trouble only. What is real freedom means? You are free enough to do the right thing, correct? You should be free enough to do the right thing. That is real freedom. Freedom is not doing whatever you like. In fact, you are really a slave of your likes and dislikes. You don't have any freedom. If you are just going after your likes and dislikes, you are only a slave of your likes and dislikes. That is not freedom. That is not success also. You will never get any success that way. So what one has to understand even relatively is that to be free to do the right thing is the greatest freedom. To be free of your likes and dislikes is the greatest freedom which we can have. So that is something one has to understand. Means how do we understand Purushaha? Means Puranat Purushaha. I am already complete, full. I am not a wanting person, really. My very nature is of fullness. Everything has come from me only. Therefore, I am already a Purnaha. So that is Purushaha means Puranat Purushaha. So that's how we understand that. Or Purishayanat Purushaha, if you take also, I am Akarta. The Dehi does not do anything. Dehi Nityamavadhyoyam Dehe Sarvasya Bharata Kam Dhatayati Hantikam. All these things Bhagavan also says. The Dehi is neither a killer nor can it be killed. Only the body is undergoing all these things. The indweller of the body, the Shariri, is free from Kartrutva. That's what one has to understand. So Purushaha, if you take it as Purishayanat Purushaha also, it is addressing that you are not a Karta. Your very nature is Akartrutvam. You are an Akarta. Similarly, Hiranmayaha Aham. What is the problem of individual people? I am idiot. I am stupid. I don't have any knowledge. See this other person. He got 100 marks. I got only 35 marks. Barely I passed. All these problems are there. So, or I think I know everything. Pride also is there in knowledge. Or you have inferiority complex. I am no good. I don't know anything. Both are only wrong conclusions. Understand that. Because you are the knower of both ignorance and knowledge. That is your reality. You are neither ignorant nor knowledgeable. That's why Tattvamasi itself is possible, correct? Whether small knowledge, all that are only Upadhi Dharma. Is it clear? It's not your nature. So Atma by itself is Hiranmaya. It is self-revealing conscious entity. That's all. It's got nothing to do with knowledge or anything to do with ignorance also. It's neither ignorant nor knowledgeable, but it is Chaitanya Swarupam. So like this, what I am trying to again tell you is that don't see these words just like that. Even if you read it from books, some translation and all that, it will not make any sense to you. You have to see each word, how it relates to you. What is the misconception about yourself a particular word is actually removing. Each word is actually removing a misconception, a wrong notion about yourself. That is the only way we have to see these words. Then only they will work. So even similarly, apani padoham, because I think I am having all these bodily parts and all that, correct? That is a problem again. In reality, you are the partless whole. That is your nature. Aham achintya shaktihi, again, means my shakti. See, the Chaitanya Shakti alone never wanes. Every other power, because it's very fact that it is in space time and all that. Today battery has power. Tomorrow it has less power. After 6 months it has no power. Even if it is rechargeable battery, you keep on recharging. After some time again, charge also it will not take any charge. So what do you do? So I am also like that. You think I am Alpa Shaktiman. I have, in fact, at least in youth, you always think that when you are young, you think you can do anything. Whether you can really do or not is a different thing. That is called like asset dharyam and all we say, correct? We have a certain notion that we can do anything and they take stupid selfies and all that in some dangerous place and lose their life also, some people. So that is also a wrong thing. But thinking that I am an Alpa Shaktiman, I don't have any strength. In fact, I cannot even sit in the class. Even though teacher is sitting, student student is not able to sit. Problem. Means Shakti is not there. That is your own vision about yourself. But then Upanishad says you have Achintya Shakti. Means in reality, the Chaitanya Shakti alone is the one which never goes away. Your awareness, your consciousness is always the same. It never wanes. It is not like the moon, which is having a waxing phase, waning phase, and all that. It is always the same. Yeah, the Chaitanyam is always there. It doesn't wane. In fact, Shiva Rupa Masmi I missed in the previous one. Same thing. You are all beset with what? Guilt, fear, and all these emotions. I have negative emotions. I should be thinking positively. In fact, Puji Swamiji used to say, positive thinking also never works because both positive and negative are equally real. Correct? You cannot say that negative is not there and I will only think positive. Then only negative will come even more strongly in your mind because you are trying whatever he used to give a joke. In fact, if if you want to spoil somebody's meditation, okay, somebody wants to meditate on something, he is asking you for a mantra. You don't really want to give him. You think that this fellow is not fit for all these things, but he is not. He is pestering you all the time. So Swamiji said once what he did is he gave some mantra and told him, whenever you chant this mantra, you should not think of monkey. Okay, that's it. That fellow can never do japa of that mantra because just because you told that whenever he chants that mantra, monkey only will come. all, all sorts of monkey, Rishikesh monkey, Kalakad monkey, all that. Okay, all different species of monkey will start come because you don't want to think of it, means that itself will make you keep on thinking that. The positive thinking also is like that. You think that, okay, I should only be doing positive thinking, means then only all the negative also will come. So they both are equally real. Okay, you cannot just do positive thinking, but you can change your thinking. The cognitive change has to happen. And with certain cognitive change and some effort, you can change your habitual thinking patterns, because many times thinking also is a certain habitual only. The way you think and arrive at some conclusion about yourself is all habitual. It need not be like that. So you should have a certain objectivity towards the functioning of your mind. Then you should be able to, you can be alert. Okay, now I'm thinking like this, but this thinking is not proper. In fact, as a general rule, what I myself followed and what I also say is that whichever way of thinking makes you unhappy is not worth it, correct? Some people justify it also. Why are you justifying a way of thinking which is making you unhappy? It's useless. Anyway, you are ending up unhappy. Whichever way of thinking makes you feel good about yourself, stick to that. Nothing wrong. You can give justifications for that. Even though everything is not good with everybody, but whatever makes you feel good, at least stick to that kind of thinking pattern. That is okay. Even if you point out something to somebody saying, why are you thinking like this? It's only making you unhappy, means they'll justify that. That is because, understand this, always our mind is not rational, logical. Many times mind just goes with whatever is familiar. The familiar may not be even good for you, but you are still holding on to it. Because familiarity and habitually you will only hold on to whatever is familiar. But you should have certain courage to let go of all that. Anyway, so the idea is Shiva means that I am all auspiciousness, I am Ananda Swarupa and all that. Correct? Like this, each of these words again are very interesting. And Pashyami Achakshuhu, Shrunomi Akarna means what I again identify myself with all my indriyas and all that. That is a problem. That I am the consciousness which sees whether the sight is happening or not, which knows whether the hearing takes place or not. That is who am I. I don't have any ears, but I know what is happening through the ears. I don't have any eyes, but the eyes themselves function only because I am there. So this is the knowledge. So like this, you have to, this is all for Nididhyasana only. All these vakyas, you always, you have to see it with reference to yourself. The beauty here is aham, 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 like that. These vakyas they have given in the Upanishad. It gives you all these things. Okay. And in fact, it beautifully says, aham vijanami vivikta rupa. I am, everything becomes known to me. Everything becomes evident to me. But I am never an object of any knowledge, any cognition. That is me. That's why I can never be destroyed also, because I never become an object of any action or any cognition also. I am always aprameyaha. So, mama veta nasti. It says, nobody can even know me because I am always the eternal subject. I can never be objectified. That is me. Chit sadaham. Like this, these vakyas, you have to again look at them and contemplate on this. That's what every Vedanta student should do. And also, I am the one who is known through all the Vedas, and I know all the Vedas. Even whatever is there in the Veda also is only becoming evident to me. Correct? I am the Veda with. Or here you identify yourself with Bhagavan, Ishvara, and say that I am the Vedanta Krit and I am the Veda with and all that. And there is no Punya Papa for me. I am not subjected to any karma and I cannot be destroyed. Nashaha Nasti. And I don't have any birth also. And I don't have any Dehendriya Buddhi also. Nothing is there for me. So like this, and even all the Mahabhutas are also not there. They are all not there really because they are all only Mithya. Na Bhumi Rapo, Nacha Vannirasti, Nacha Anilo, Mesti, Nachambarancha. Evam Viditva, having known like this, Paramatma Rupam Guhashayam. So again, where do you know this? Only in your heart, in your intellect. Guhashayam, whatever is available in your mind, in your intellect, that Paramatma Rupam, Nishkalam, which is partless whole, and Sadvitiyam, which is the Sakshi of everything, Samasta Sakshim, Sadasad Vihinam, which is again different from both the unmanifest and the manifest, or tangible and intangible, whichever way you classify known and unknown also you can see, which is different from both known and unknown, because known, unknown, all of them are only objects of knowledge at the end of the day. But Atma is neither. It is neither known nor unknown. And such a person, Prayati Shuddham Paramatma Rupam, such a person attains to this great Atma Swarupa, which is always pure. It is not tainted by anything. Whatever you may think you have impurity, none of that is there really for Atma. So up to this we saw already. Now, suppose there is a sannyasi who is still undergoing the studies and all that. The Upanishad is giving a sadhana for such a person. Not only sannyasi, everybody else also can follow this. What is that? Yash Shatarudriyam Adhite. So the one who does this chanting of Shatarudriyam. So what is this Shatarudriyam exactly? There is some discussion on that, but in general we can take it as the Rudram which we chant also. Namaste astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Namaste Rudramanyava Uto Daishave Namaha. Like that only it starts, correct? Namaste astu Dhanvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. Ya Daishu Shivatama Shivam Babhuvate Dhanuhu. Like that. The Rudriyam is there. Shatarudriyam also it is called. So one who does Adhyayana of that, Saha Agni Putaha Bhavati means what? Agni means here all the Agni Karma. It is as though this person has done all this Agni Karma and been purified by that. Just chanting the Rudra is equivalent to that. So the Shatarudriya Adhyayana is praised here by the Upanishad. Saha Agni Putaha Bhavati. So it is as though Shrauta, Smarta, Karma and all is there. All of them involve some Agni, and it is as though you have done all those karma and then you have been purified. Samskritaha. You have been purified by all those karma. Just chanting Shatarudriyam is equivalent to that. Saha Agni Puto Bhavati. And then the results also it is giving. Surapanat Putaha Bhavati. Even if you have been a drunkard previously, by chanting this you will be, because these are all Mahapataka. If you see our Dharma Shastra, they have also graded different types of Papa Karma. So there are normal Papa Karma. These are all Mahapataka. Drinking is Mahapataka. Surapanat Putaha Bhavati means even if you have done the Mahapataka, you are purified from that Papa. Or Brahmatyayaha Putaha. Even if you have done a Hatya Brahmana. So Brahmati, why is it said as such a heinous crime? Means the Brahmanas are supposed to be the Ahimsavadis. Not everybody can practice the same type of ahimsa in the society. Correct? If you are a soldier and say no, I am a ahimsavadi, means that's not your swakarma. In fact, you don't have proper understanding of ahimsa also. Because even if you take Tirukural and all that, even speaking truth also, Tiruvalluvar defines very beautifully. Right? Vaime enadu yadanin yadorurkum thimai illada solal, he says. He doesn't say you have to speak always. Some people are there. They are very proud about speaking the truth. But they will go and speak truth where you should have shut down. Shut up your mouth and remain silent. Wherever you should have been silent also. If you go and just talk something just because it is truth also, it's not proper. That's why even with reference to talking also, it is said that Satyam Bruyat is said. But Priyam Bruyat, correct? Priyam Bruyat also is there. So Satyam api Priyam Bruyat, Hitam Bruyat. Also, whatever you say should do something good to the other person. Even if you say some truth and it is going to make the other person's condition worse, means it is better that you shut up and remain. Nobody, if you don't say anything, that is also still Satyam. Correct? It's not that you have to open your mouth all the time. Like that, here anyway, ahimsa we were talking about. Ahimsa also we have to understand in the context of the overall good and all. If some himsa is required to protect some people who are not having any protection or who are going to be attacked by somebody and all that, that is justified for us in the Dharma Shastra. So again, but Brahmanas are supposed to follow a certain level of ahimsa. Sannyasi is even more. The sannyasi cannot even show anger or aggression even if he is attacked. That is the level of ahimsa. Sannyasi only has absolute ahimsa. Sannyasi has to follow. Others, again, it's all graded. But even in the normal grihastha, if you take among the grihastha, Brahmanas should follow the highest ahimsa. Such a people, if you go and attack or kill and all that, that is supposed to be like even worse. If you are fighting a war and all that, you are killing another Kshatriya, that is different. Or if somebody is coming to attack you and you are defending and all that, also is fine. Or sometimes as a king, you are also aggressive, correct? You go and attack somebody. That also can be taken as Raja Dharma or some kind of strategy and all that. But Brahma Hatya is different. So Brahma Hatya also is a Mahapataka. So even if you have done that, you are purified by the Shatarutriya. And Suvarnasteyat Puta, even if you steal gold and all that. In fact, there is this Ambasamudaram temple story also is there. Suvarnasteya means I remember that there is Kashinatha Swami temple is there in our Ambasamudaram. It is also called Ericha Udayar temple. Means the Lord who burnt. So what happened is the story is that there was one person and he gained lot of wealth with some whatever. He went to the king and he did something and the king gave him lot of ratnas and all that. Then he came to the temple and gave it to the Pujari there, saying that you keep all these things because I have to go to the forest and I have some work there. Then I'll come back and take it from you. Then so he gave it and went, and when he came back, the priest gave him similarly some kind of a bag. But in that there was only some dal or something. Whatever he gave originally, it was not there. Then he asked that Pujari, what happened to whatever I gave? No, he says, you only gave this. Whatever you gave, I have given it back to you. Then he goes to the king. When the king asks the Pujari, he says the same thing. Then the king says, okay, then you promise on this Lord that whatever you have taken only, you have given back. Then that Pujari does that also. Once he does that, it is said that Bhagavan came and burnt that Pujari and all that. Like that, there's a story is there. Anyway, so Suvarnasteyat Putaha means even if you do all this, Suvarnasteyam also is considered to be a Mahapataka only. But even you can be purified from all that. Bhavati and Sakrita Krityat Putaha means this Krita and Akritya. Kritya Kritya, not Krita Kritya, sorry. Kritya Akritya. Now Kritya Akritya can be taken as commission and omission. Because Kritya means whatever you have done. Correct? So you have done something wrong. That is commission. Or whatever should have been done, you did not do. Akrityam means that is omission. Or the commentator gives another meaning also. He says Krityam means Buddhi Purvakam, he says. Because sometimes we say, no, I did it wrong, okay, but I did not do it intentionally, or I did not know that it was wrong and all that. You can say, correct? Or sometimes you do willfully only, you do something wrong. So Buddhi Purvakam, if you do something wrong, the commentator says it is Kritya. Then Abuddhi Purvakam means what? You did not do it intentionally, but still something wrong you have done. Both you become purified from both of this papa. Kritya, Akritya, Utaha Bhavati. Therefore what? So because you are reading Rudra means, Shatarudriya means you are a Shiva Bhakta, correct? You are a Shaiva. Therefore what? The one who does all these things and one who is purified like this, Tasmad Avimuktam Ashritaha. So that person then takes refuge or he is under the protection of Bhagavan. Shiva only. Avimukta means it's the name of Shiva, correct? It's an interesting name. Avimuktaha, how did this name come? Also we have to understand. Vimuktaha means all the pashus, correct? All the animals are all called Vimuktaha. They are all already Mukta Purusha only. They are all already free. Why? Because they do not have any Shastra Vidhi or Nishiddha Karma and all that. Shastra Vidhi and Nishiddha is only for human beings, correct? Animals are already free from any Vidhi or Nishedha because they only go by their instincts. They don't have an evolved free will like a human being. So therefore, as a pashu, even if you kick somebody, you don't get any papa because they are already free from all punya and papa, all right and wrong. They do not have any mandated things to be done, nor nishiddha karma and all that. They are already programmed in a certain way, and they behave accordingly, and that's how they are. So the pashus are already called as vimuktaha. Avimuktaha means one who is not a pashu means he is the pashupati. So avimuktaha means the meaning is pashupati. Pashupati means Shiva again. Pashupati, Shiva is called Pashupati. So we have the Pashupatinath Mandir and all in Nepal. So avimukta also means the same thing. Avimuktam ashritaha. So these people are under the protection of Bhagavan Shiva. So ashritaha bhavati. And therefore what? Atyashrami sarvada sakritva jape. So the Atyashrami means here again the sannyasi only. Sannyasa ashrama is the last ashrama. He is after all other ashramas. Or he is greater than all other ashramas. Because somebody could have taken sannyasa even from brahmacharya. So sannyasa ashrama we always respect. They are Atyashrami. And even among sannyasi, this sannyasi is a Paramahamsa sannyasi, like that the commentator is saying. Even in that, because there are different types of sannyasas also. And that person what is still a Vividisha sannyasi, means he is still pursuing knowledge, therefore he has to chant it all the time, it says. Sarvada jape. So that Rudra Pashupati Nayanar and all I told you, correct? He must have followed this Upanishad, I think. He used to keep chanting only Rudra all the time. There is a story of that Nayanmar. Or at least Sakritva means at least you do once. Once you do in a day. Every day you have to chant Rudram once. Like that, the Upanishad is giving you a sadhana, a jnana sadhana, which will purify you and make you qualified to receive this knowledge. And then we go to the last verse, or last mantra of this Upanishad. Anena jnanam apnoti. So that's what. If you do chant Rudra every day, then you become purified, you become qualified for this knowledge. Therefore, through that, then you can gain this knowledge. Again, none of the sadhana are an end in themselves. Correct? That also we have to be very clear. We may even praise the sadhanam, but we should also know the limitations of that. You should not be stuck with that only. So immediately that's why Upanishad says, Anena jnanam apnoti. So once you have chanted this Shatarudriyam enough times and you are purified, by that then you have to gain the knowledge. Means anyway you have to do Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. So Anena jnanam apnoti. And also what? Samsararnava nashanam. So what kind of jnanam? The jnanam is itself is the destroyer of the samsara arnava. Arnava means again ocean. The ocean of samsara is destroyed. The destroyer of the ocean of samsara, that knowledge you gain. Again, what kind of destruction? It is not some real destruction or you are really evaporating all the water of the ocean. You find that there is no ocean at all to start with. That is the destruction here. Because destruction can be two types. If you have to destroy something with another virodhi which is of the same order of reality, that is one kind of destruction, correct? But such kind of destruction in that it may again reappear also. So every day we destroy, let us say, germs and all that, but next day again it is there, correct? Every day you purify, you clean your home, then but still next day you have to again do the same thing. So if the destroyer is also of the same order of reality, that destruction is cannot be nitya. Will again come back. Here what? When we say nasha, the nasha is different. You falsify it. It is like saying you have destroyed the snake on the rope. Correct? Once you see the rope, the snake can never come back. It is destroyed. It's falsified in fact. By falsification only jnanam is destroying your samsara arnava because it says there was no samsara to start with. You are not even a bandha purusha. That's what you have to understand again here. This Nashanam is not like really somebody is going and fighting and destroying something or you are, I don't know how you will destroy the ocean anyway. Like I said, maybe if you have a giant sun which evaporates everything, maybe. But even if you do that, it will come back again and condense somewhere else. And again the Arnava will come. So the destruction is only in terms of falsification. Correct? You see that there is no ocean to start with, in fact. Therefore, what? Tasmad evam viditva. So therefore, in this manner, once you have known, correct, you have known the truth, yenam kaivalyam padam ashnute. In this manner, you gain this kaivalyam padam. Kaivalyam, again, already I told you, kevalasya bhavaha. Kevalam means only one. So onliness, I would say, rather than loneliness. Loneliness seems to be like a bad word. We can say Kaivalyam means onlyness. You are the only one who is there really. You are the only reality. There is nothing other than you. Therefore, there is no second thing. And Upanishad says, Vidyadvai bhayam bhavati. Only if there is a second thing, there can be fear. Means now there is no second thing. And only if a second thing is there, it can also limit you. Means if there is no second thing, you are the limitless. You are not limited by space, you are not limited by time, you are not limited by any object. You are the partless whole, limitless. That's what is meant by the Kaivalyam also. The onlyness is pointing to that, and such a state, Padam, Kaivalyam Padam Ashnuta, Ashnute. And again it repeats that Kaivalyam Padam Ashnuta iti means whenever if it repeats like this in our text, that means the text has ended. Because in a oral tradition, how do you know something has ended? In oral tradition, to know that a particular section or a chapter has ended, we repeat the last sentence. Always it will be like this. You see that even in Brahma Sutra also it is like that, or even in many other Shastra or many other Upanishads. When a chapter ends also, it will repeat two times. So if you see that, then you know this Shastra is over or this chapter is over, like that. So Kaivalyam Padam Ashnuta iti, like that. We have finished the Kaivalya Upanishad with this. In fact, this particular text I shared with you, correct? The PDF is actually they consider it as from the Krishna Yajurveda, I think. That's why you see the Shanti mantra which they have given there is not the Bhadram Karnebihi we are chanting. Because we all, when we learned from our gurus, they all taught us that this is from Atharvaveda only. I think it is from Atharvaveda only. But it also appears in the Krishna Yajurveda. So that's why, in fact, even in this they say, Iti Atharvavediya Kaivalyopanishad Samapta, like that it is given. But then they have given the Shanti mantra of Krishna Yajurveda here. Because Sahana Bhavatu is the Shanti mantra of Krishna Yajurveda. Bhadram Karnebihi only is the Shanti mantra of our Atharvaveda. In fact, each Veda has its own Shanti mantra. So Rig Veda has Vang Me Manasi Pratishtita Mano Me Vang Pratishtitam Aviravirma Edhi Vedasya Mani Isthaha. Like that, there is a Shanti mantra for Rig Veda. Vang Me Manasi Pratishtita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam, like that. Then Samveda has another Shanti mantra. In fact, when we study Brahma Sutra, we will chant all the Veda Shanti mantras. In fact, that is because Brahma Sutra is an analysis of all the Veda Vakyas, correct? So it is as though you are studying all the Veda. So during Brahma Sutra class alone, we used to say all the Shanti mantras. Otherwise, if you are studying the Upanishads from a particular Veda, we do the Shanti mantra of that Veda. In fact, Yajurveda, again, two main traditions are there. Krishna Yajurveda, Shukla Yajurveda. Shukla Yajurveda only we have the Purnamadav Purnamidam. Like that, different Shanti mantras are there. In fact, Shanti mantra itself means what? That also we have to understand. Shantihi, the word means some kind of a shamanam is involved in that. Correct? Shamanam only is Shanti. Sham dhatu means to resolve, to be tranquil and all that, or even to neutralize. These meanings are all there. So what do we want to neutralize? Why are we always chanting the Shanti mantra in the beginning and end of the class and all that? Because when you start the class, again, you don't want certain disturbances and hindrances, correct? Because you have come to the class to learn something, you should be able to focus on whatever that you want to gain in the class. But that's not very easy. There are always hindrances from three places, in fact, we say. That's why after chanting the Shanti mantra, we say Shanti 3 times. Correct? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why do you have to say it 3 times? Because the disturbances also can come from 3 different sources. The first source is what? Adhyatmika. That which is with reference to yourself. In yourself only there are so many hindrances. You are not even able to sit, or your ears are not hearing properly. Paramarthananda used to say, I say immortal and you hear it as immoral. So if your ears are not working, immortal will become immoral. So what will you do then? So all your indriyas have to function properly. You should be able to sit straight and be attentive. So those kinds of hindrances only you have to first, the adhyatmika tapa, or hindrances you have to overcome or neutralize or resolve. So one Shanti is for that. Then Adi Bhautika means all the surroundings. Either surrounding is too hot or too cold. If you don't like cold, for you only the AC is coming properly. Some people want always 16 degrees in the AC. But they are always sitting somewhere, there is no throw of the AC. They are complaining it is too hot. Another fellow is saying always AC is falling on me and I am freezing. What will you do then? Or mosquitoes are a problem. The mosquito especially comes to some people. Some other people are never bothered by mosquito. Even if 10 people are there in a room, Puji Swamiji used to say, always mosquitoes come to me. And he even used to, I don't know whether it is, you can confirm. So he used to say that the real mosquito which sucks the blood is a female only, does that. And also whenever it is pregnant or something, only it requires a blood meal. Like that he used to say, I never checked it, but it must be true, I think. So he used to say that, so at least you have a satisfaction that you have done some blood donation to a lady. Okay. So like that. So all these things can again trouble you. Your surroundings itself means that also you don't want. So the Shanti mantras are also prayers only. It is like we do Ganapati Puja and start everything, correct? We don't want any Vigna, any hindrance. Like that in the class also, we may not do an elaborate Ganapati Puja, but we always start with the Shanti mantra because we do not want any of these hindrances during the class. So one is Adhyatmika also, you want to resolve everything with reference to yourself and your body, mind, sense complex, or everything with reference to the immediate surroundings also. I want it to be favorable to me. And the Adi Daivika means what? Like suddenly Ganga flood is there, earthquake is there, all these things are beyond us. So those things also should not bother us. We have a camp here, means at least this 1 week we have to be peacefully able to attend the class at least. Whether it is raining and we are not able to go out and all is a different thing. So at least we have come for a particular Vedanta retreat, means the Vedanta classes we should be able to attend without any disruption and all that. So like that the Shanti itself, Shanti mantra is a prayer for this. The three Shantis also we say. But other than this, every Shanti mantra also is very interesting because they have some prayer, specific specific prayers are also there. Like Sahana Vavatu is a specific prayer for the Guru and the Shishya, addressed with reference to the Guru and the Shishya. Sahana Vavatu is for studies and is a prayer for the protection of the Guru and Shishya so that the knowledge can take place properly. The Bhadran Karne Bihi is a more general prayer. In fact, it can be interpreted as a general prayer by anybody also, or for a mumukshu also we can interpret it in a specific manner. So like this, the different Shanti mantras are there. In fact, if you take the Sahana Vavatu here, so it's interesting, correct? Saha Now Avatu. Like that only we have to break it. Or the Saha itself you can take it as Sa Ha Now Avatu. Or Saha Now Avatu also you can take. Together. Saha means together. Now is dual case. Correct? I told you Sanskrit is one of the languages which has a dual case also. Now and Naha also is there. Correct? May now Naha. Like that you have to take. So in that now means both of us. And Avatu means Avatu is the same dhatu from which Om also is there. Om, the word. If you take Om as a word in a language, then it comes from the dhatu avarakshane. Okay, ava is the dhatu. Avatu means may you protect. And Om means Om comes in the meaning of agent again, so protector. You take it as a Sanskrit word, Om means protector. Ishvara only. But then Om also has other, you can give a non-linguistic meaning also to Om because Om is considered as a pratika. So it is a sound symbol rather than a word. You can take Om as a sound symbol rather than a word from a particular language. Then also it has a certain meaning, very interesting. Like Swamiji used to say, the Om, see in fact nowadays they even write as AUM and AUM and all they say. That is all wrong. Okay. There is no AUM. It is Om only. If you see from a Sanskrit Siksha Shastra standpoint, always O is A plus U only is O. That doesn't mean you have to say AU. It is O only. But O is made up of A and U. That is the Siksha Shastra or how that sound is made up of. So A, U and Im. These three only makes up Om. And the thing here is, if you open your mouth, the only sound and do nothing, anything special, the first sound which comes is A, correct? Or the only sound which will come without any special effort. You open your mouth, what is the sound you get? That is true for all of us. Only is the sound. To say E, at least we have to make additional effort, correct? E. oo and all means there are more effort involved. Different places of your mouth or your even in your kantha, right, in your throat and all, you have to, for every consonant, in fact, you have to put effort in a particular place. That's why they are even named after that in Sanskrit. Kantyam means, ka means you are making the effort in the kantha itself, in the throat. Talu means, again you are making effort here, just be, or then Oshtavyaha is there. Okay, like that, or Murdhanya, like the different places of your mouth and lips and all that, based on that the sounds are coming. Papa, Baba, Ma means everything is based on the lips. Some sounds are based on your Dantavya, we say, because you have to touch the tongue with your, you have to touch the tongue and the teeth. That's why they are based on Tata, Dadha and all is based on tongue touching the teeth. Or you have to hold your tongue and touch the top part, that is called Murdha. So Tata, Dadha and all you have to fold. Then only the sound will come correctly. So like this, anyway, A is the sound which comes, which is the first sound you can say, which comes without any other effort. You have to only open your mouth and make the sound. Similarly, you close your mouth. The only sound can be mm. Of course, you can do in different shruti and all that. Mm, mm. All this, every singer does that. Shruti Shekhar, they'll do, they'll put the tampura and then they have to also align with the, so they'll say whatever. But it's always him only. So that means what? All sounds are between a and him. Correct? Every other sound is in between because it depends on what effort you put in your mouth. So all the in between sounds are represented by U. Like that, if you take, then also you will arrive at Om because A plus U is O. Then M is there Om. So now Om becomes a sound symbol representing all sounds. And sounds only make up language also. That means Om represents all words in all languages. Therefore, since it is like that, it is also an appropriate symbol to represent Ishvara, who is all names and forms, correct? Ishvara only is manifest as all names and forms. Then an appropriate sound symbol for Ishvara should represent all sounds and all words in all languages. Therefore, Om is the appropriate sound symbol for that. So we can look upon Om as a sound symbol also. And that's why we chant Om always. We start with Om. Om alone has become three Vedas and all that. If you separate the Om as A, U, Ma, then we say all three Vedas come from Om. Like that also, or we can superimpose the three waker, dreamer, sleeper and all on Om itself and do Upasana. That's what is taught also in the Upanishads, correct? And that's why Om is one word, but it can be looked upon as that alone has become this entire Srishti also. As manifest as the entire Srishti. So Om is the name for Brahman. That's why, or it is the sound symbol for Brahman. Appropriately, if we look at it in a non-linguistic manner, also we can interpret the Om. Or linguistically, avarakshane. So here Sahana Vavatu means may that Ishvara Saha. Why do we say Ishvara is Saha? Saha means him, correct? Or that. Why do we say that means Ishvara is always Paroksha? Correct? For normal people, Ishvara is not Pratyaksha. In fact, the theologies even reinforce that, correct? Bhagavan is in Vaikuntha, Kailasha, Golok, Vrindavan, some heaven and all that. Means nobody has seen the heaven. Bhagavan is sitting there means Bhagavan is Nitya Paroksha only. So you have to always use the this Paroksha means Saha only you have to use. You cannot use anything else. You cannot say Tvam or Aham for Ishvara. You have to say Saha. So Saha, Saha, if you separate it, then the Sa is Ishvara. So Saha Ishvara, Ha means, again, Ha can be a particle saying indeed or should, something like that. Now Avatu, so Ishvara should protect us. Both the, now means here both the Shishya and the Guru. And again, protection means how? Normal security, that Ishvara has to send some 100 security outside the class so that we are all protected. In fact, if you have 100 security outside the class, you will feel more insecure. So we don't want protection like that. Even here, vow you have to take, Ishvara has to free us from insecurity. That is the real protection. Protection is not having all this. Of course, many times we also, Kavacham and all we do, correct? Rama only is coming this side, Lakshmana is coming this side, and they are all protecting me and all. That is also okay. We even chant Kavacha mantras or Kavacha shlokas and all that before even you sit for doing some japa and all that, because you don't want to be disturbed by any forces and all that. But more than all that, the protection, real protection is that you should not feel any insecurity itself. That means you don't really need any protection. That is the kind of protection we are asking. That will come only by studying the Shastra again, correct? And this whole prayer is starting just before studying the Shastra means, may the Shastra bless me and protect me so that I don't require any protection or free me from all insecurities. And Sahana Gunaktu also you can again interpret the same way. May the Ishvara and Saha, if you take it, means together. Both of us, both the Guru and Shishya together, may that Ishvara protect us. And Gunaktu means nourish us, or again protection only you can take. But a different kind of protection here. And then Saha Viryam Karavavahi means may we both be. Here Viryam means what? During the class you should not sleep and all that, correct? That means you have the strength to do whatever you are studying means. You both, the Guru should have the Viryam to teach properly because Guru has to communicate. Shishya has to have the Viryam to understand whatever has been communicated. So that is important here. And Tejas Vinavadhi Tamastu Mavid Vishavahi. So no Tejas Vinav. Again, whatever we have studied should make us Tejas Vinav means what? That knowledge has to Adhitam Jnanam Tejas Vinav Astu means let that Jnanam make us Tejasvi means let it enlighten. The Guru's word should not make you hot. It should make you enlightened. It should not make you heated up. You should not get angry in the class or anything. But you should be enlightened. So Tejas, we know, Adhita Mastu, Mavid Vishahavaya. Explicitly he says, may we not hate each other. Guru-Sishya relationship is very important, correct? There should not be any misunderstanding, hatred or anything. Then there can never be any knowledge. Knowledge cannot take place. It's not like any other relationship where you love initially, then you allow. That's all. It's not like that. So this relationship is a sacred one, and that has to also, that relationship should be in such a way that it blesses everybody. So may there not be any hatred or anything, and then we say the Shanti, correct? Again, I have already explained. So this is one Shanti mantra. Maybe in the next class we'll see the other Shanti mantra also, which is very interesting. We'll see that. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.